Yeah, hi again. Hi everyone. This is our course content. So 30 topics we have here. So first we'll start with introduction of networking and basic concept and fundamentals of networking and requirement of networking. What is LAN? What is WAN? We'll discuss from day one. And the day one only we'll discuss up to OSA models. OSA models will finish and we'll move then IP addressing and then subnetting and in depth we'll discuss routing as well as switching and every CCNA to CCNP level. I'll explain you here routing and switching. In that we'll discuss RIP protocol, OSPF protocol, EAGRP protocol as well as BGP also. BGP border gateway protocol, it is not a part of CCNA even though we'll discuss here. Apart from that, we have a secure layer 2 protocol, that is VLAN concept and STP spanning tree protocol. These things we'll discuss with labs. Okay, I'll verify it in labs and I'll show you the what is trunk port, what is the access port, entire thing. And it's a switching concepts. We'll discuss its layer 2 concepts as well as we'll move to the ACLs. It's a security concept, how to deny the traffic, how to permit. So we'll discuss entire thing, how to, and with configuration we'll discuss. With configuration, types of ACLs, we have types of ACLs, how to configure it, and what is the benefit of ACLs. Entire thing we'll discuss. And we'll move to the NAT, network address translation. So basically what it will be do NAT with the help of NAT, how we'll configure it, and if anything issues happen, how we'll troubleshoot it. And apart from that, what is the requirement of NAT? So basically it will be convert to the private IP to public IP and public IP to private IP addresses. So those things also we'll discuss. And apart from that, I'll give you the overview of Wi-Fi devices, wireless network architecture, how we'll have to establish it, entire thing, and security concepts also on that. What is the benefits of wireless? Those things also we'll discuss. And IPv4 also, IPv4 and IPv6, both will discuss. Both are the routed protocols. What is the benefit of IPv6 and IPv4? Those things we'll discuss, and how to assign the IP addresses to end users, and what is the DHCP and dynamic host configuration protocol. Basically it will be assign the dynamically IP addresses to host end users. So with configuration and real time, how will troubleshoot it and which kind of issues will face in real time, those things will be discussed here. Entire thing. And domain name server, and what is the requirement of DNS and domain name server, and with configuration we'll check. And that for that you should have to download the Cisco packet tracer. I'll show you the today end of the session how to download it, Cisco packet tracer, and how to install it and how to log in it. It is mandatory. It is a mandatory to download it, because whenever we are doing the practicals, whenever we are doing the labs, so next session you cannot understand. That is the reason you should have to. Then we'll move. Do you have any questions to? If you have any questions, then unmute yourself and ask me. Otherwise, mute yourself. So then we'll move to the WAN connectivity, WAN technologies. Even though here I have mentioned only MPLS and Metro Ethernet and VPNs only, even though we'll discuss SD-WAN also. It's a booming technology, SD-WAN. I'll show you in lab also. For SD-WAN, we have a setup, entire thing. And I'll give with you overview of MPLS. But I'll explain you step-by-step process SD-WAN. And it for will give 1 week, entire week we'll discuss only SD-WAN. So nowadays it's a booming technology, software defined wide area network. It's a WAN technology actually. How to connectivity of one location, one geographical location to another geographical location by secure VPN tunnels will be created. So this concept is different, and in this also will create VPNs. So entire thing, it is like a advanced level CCNP also. That is, even though the concept is not available in CCNP also, even though we'll discuss here. So security fundamentals also will discuss IDS, IPS, and here we'll use some Palo Alto firewall. Palo Alto firewall, and that's we'll discuss. Palo Alto, we'll use Palo Alto firewall, and we'll discuss entire thing. It's security things we'll discuss. Otherwise, FortiGate firewall will discuss. Otherwise, whenever we are doing the labs, that time whichever the suitable labs. So for that lab is required. So that is the reason. So next we'll move to the SDN same. So here, software defined networks. Here we have the SDN family like ACI, and it's kind of data center for, and then we'll move to the SD-WAN. What is the requirement of SD-WAN, and those things we'll discuss. Three types of for SD access also we have in this SD access also. I'll give you the overview of entire thing, software defined networks. So those are the automations also. We'll discuss more some topics, JSON. There will be get some automation programming languages. I'll give you the overview of that. What is the need for in networking? Python, what is the need for it? What is the need for Linux? Those things we'll discuss. So how to upgrade the iOS, we'll discuss those things also. And Cisco iOS commands also we'll discuss, and how to upgrade the devices. So in switches, how will we have to upgrade it? Those things also we'll discuss here. And I'll show you in the lab also for upgradation part, switches or routers. So that is the reason I'm telling you here. It is not only for the CCNA batch. It is kind of advanced level networking we are discussing. So CCNA to advanced level. So then we'll move to the configuration part, and not only configuration, and troubleshooting also we'll do here. So whenever you are facing the issues, whenever you in real time you are working somewhere, so that time if you are facing some issues, so how to troubleshoot it, that issues. So those concepts I'll explain you step by step process, how you have to troubleshoot it if you are facing the issues. So step by step in routers and switches. Routers also will discuss here. In switches also will discuss. And basically switch, it's layer 2 device, and router, it's a layer 3 device. So apart from that, we'll discuss ether channel also. In that we have a one is Cisco proprietary, other one is open standard protocols. How we how to configure it, multiple links at ether channels, those things. How we have to configure it, everything. How we can aggregate it. What is the requirement of ether channel? We'll discuss. And troubleshooting things also, that is what. So the main focus is here lab in the troubleshooting. So whenever if you are facing issues in real time, so for that I'll show you the I'll give you some commands, and how I'll give you some scenarios, and that scenario basis we'll discuss here, not in more theoretical. We'll discuss more on practical in lab part. That is good for you, because whenever you are doing the job, that time it is required thing. So quality of service nowadays, organizations are not using quality of service, even though we'll discuss quality of service, because of earlier it is required. Nowadays it's not required, because it's kind of traffic flow. How we have to send a traffic, we have if Facebook traffic at a time, business traffic. So we'll give a first priority for the traffic. That is only quality of service. Even though we'll discuss it, if some interviewers ask about the this basis the questions only. And then we'll move to the management protocols, SNMP, syslog, NetFlow. These are the monitoring tools. We'll discuss simple network management protocol. How if you are facing, if your any devices are went down, so what is the reason behind it? How we'll verify it? How to monitor it? We'll discuss those things. And security part, port security also it is, and wireless security also. And first hope redundancy protocol also. Here we have HSRP, VRRP, GLBP. So gateway redundancy protocols, these will discuss. And network time protocol also, I'll give you the overview. And for this entire thing, you should have to download Cisco Packet Tracer. Cisco Packet Tracer, it's a kind of software where we can do the labs. So these are the topics and these are the protocols and switching protocols we have here. And first we'll move to the network fundamentals, introduction, network devices. Here we have the which kind of devices in networking, routers, switches, firewalls, FI load balancer, and SD-WAN devices, and servers, and PC host, those things, network architecture. If I'll explain the network architecture, then you can understand easily network devices and all, and cable types, and which cable where we'll use, and port types, and OSA model, and subnetting, MAC address. These are the network fundamentals. And then we'll move to the VLAN switching topics. VLAN, native VLAN, access port, trunk port, DTP, VTP, STP, RSTP, Ether channel. These are the layer 2 protocols. Then we'll move to the routing protocols, routing concepts, entire OSPF, EAGRP. So here we have. So before that, we'll do the labs on static routing and dynamic routing. Not only the small labs, I'll provide you the big labs on here based on the scenario basis. So entire architecture will do here. From day one onwards, we'll do lab. For that topology only, entire sessions will be with that help only will create. When I'll start VLAN concept, that day itself, our lab practice will be start up to our DHCP, DNS, entire routing, switching. I'll use that same lab only. So if you have any queries, go our previous batch videos. There you can very well to find out it, how my explanation way, how my lab explanation way. So we'll here will very well to explain. I like very well to explain OSPF protocol because and most of the organizations are using OSPF because it's an open standard protocol. Apart from that, not only overview, we'll discuss in depth in BGP, types of BGP, how two types of neighborship happen in BGP, IGP and IBGP and EBGP. So again, we have to a directly connected neighborship will form it, and indirectly connected neighborship form, how that form, and how to advertise the prefixes in BGP, how to troubleshoot it if you are facing any issues in BGP. Entire thing we'll discuss here. Then we'll move to the security concept. These are the security, port security, STP root guard, port first, ACL, DSCP snooping, R inspections, entire thing. Then we'll move to the these are the technologies where we can take a remote access telnet for if you want to take it remote access in real time. We have will use mostly SSH secure shell protocol because whenever we are it will be securely we can access the devices because it will be send the plain text the information, but SSH will securely we can connect the our devices. We can take a we can take a access to the devices. So remotely we can take a access. Apart from that, we have a DHCP, NAT, syslog, wireless, and overview of the automation tools and VRF. So in previous batch, not this much discussion is happened, but in this batch we'll discuss entire thing. Guys, now you can ask me if you have any questions. Anyone have any questions?
Right now, I don't have any question.
Great.
No, no.
So, guys, today I'll show you to everyone know how to download the Cisco packet tracer or not. So, meanwhile, we will here we have to, so no issue. So for that, go to Google, type Cisco packet tracer download. Just type it here, Cisco packet tracer download, and here you can verify. You can will get net academy piece. So not this set. So here we have to give the credentials. So this is the website, NetaCard. Here we'll verify it. Sys packet tracer of 8.2.2, the Windows 62, 64 bits. So likewise, we have to download it, and once you install it from this source, you will verify, you will find out here one pop-up log, and that pop-up log you have to give the credentials same whichever you earlier given in NetaCard site. You have to give the same credential, and here it will be asked the how many days it will be work, means login credential it will be give the 7 days only, and apart from that 3 months also it is available 90 days. So select on 90 days and log in it. Otherwise it will be 7 days only it will be provided. So here the dashboard of Cisco packet tracer, and these are the devices we have. These are the router, and here we have the multiple routers. Cisco 43331. This is a router, and this one is the router. These all are the routers. So routers means it's a L3 devices. We have the L3 devices also. Just open it at if you want to see the physical view. So this is the view of physical. Just zoom out and zoom in through here. So these are the ports, auxiliary port and giga ports, and console ports also here we have. This one the console port. Console port, it's a login through this console port. So physically we log in it and we'll change the configuration. And if you want to remotely log in or something, if you want to remotely connectivity or something, at lab purpose we are using, this is a physical lab one. So sorry, it's a virtual lab. So here you can verify it. This is a physical view. And if you want to give the configuration mode at a graphical user interface, so I mostly recommend you don't do the graphical user interface view. If you are configuring here, if you are trying to give the IP addresses under here, you can easily give it, but it's not a good manner to, we are professionals, right? Network professionals. So we have to use a CLI mode only. So whichever I am doing the configuration thing, so graphical user also, you can verify it from here only. See, if you want to give the IP address at graphical view, yes, you can give it 192.168.10.1 likewise. Even though subnet or mask also you can give it, and no shutdown if you turn it on. So likewise, we can give the graphical user interface only, but I'll mostly recommend you the use command line interface CLI mode only. So try to give the configuration on this mode only, because if you are troubleshooting something, so troubleshooting command work here only. So IP interface brief. So mostly, sorry. So IP interface brief. Every troubleshooting commands will work on CLI mode only. If you cannot verify it, just configuration part you can do, but I recommend you the configuration also entire thing go through CLI mode only. So basically, we don't have the GUI mode at our real time. So in switch router as well as switch. So this is a router. I'll show you step by step process. Once we'll finish the devices, which devices we have here. So this is the end users PC, and this one is the laptop, and this one is the server, and this one is also server, Meraki server, and this one is a network controller. So most of the devices we have, every device, networking, every device we have in this Cisco packet tracer. And even though IP phone also we have, and voice over phone also we have, voice over IP and phone, TV, tablet, smartphone, every network device, every networking device we have here. These all are the devices. So wireless also. So these all are the host devices. Means end users, whichever the end users are using. So like we, who we are human. Humans are using those devices are end users. So these are the PCs we are using, and laptops also we are using, and servers also. Server, it means in data is available in the server. It's a memory. Earlier we have seen our memory card, right? Likewise, this is a memory. So here we have devices like it's L3 devices, and you can check this is a physical layer devices. You can assume likewise. And apart from that, we have the switches also here. So here in bottom of the left side, you can verify the network devices, all the networking devices at bottom of the left. So here we have the switch. This is a model 2960, and we have the another switch also, and we have the multi-layer MLS switches also. So it is kind of L3 device. This is also L3 device, and this one is the L3 device. These are the L3 devices, and these are the L2 devices. Data link layer devices. We cannot assign the IP addresses at port number, at port. But in this device, we can assign the IP addresses on that physical interfaces. So it's kind of physical interface only. So whichever we have seen earlier, this is the port, right? We have seen here, this is a port. This is, I'll zoom it. So this is a port, this one is a port, this one is a port. These all are the ports, ports, gig ports, gigabit Ethernet ports. So we can give the IP addresses to these ports. So virtually we can see here, but it is kind of in real time, same devices we are using. In real time also, whichever the devices happen, whichever how you are configuring everything, entire thing, it will be same happen in real time. And troubleshooting also. Don't worry about in real time how the things still happen, how the things was happen. Don't worry about that. I'll explain you in depth, and scenarios also I'll give you. Entire thing I'll give you. So now move to the switches, and I'll show you before the ending the session. I'll give you the overview of how to configure the IP, how to assign the IP addresses and all. So basic thing we'll do. So this is the devices. Everyone understood or not? And apart from that, we have the wireless devices also. This is a Meraki wireless device. We'll do very well labs on wireless controller also. We have the session of wireless also here. So these are the Wi-Fi. In home, you are seeing wireless, right? Wi-Fi routers, we call it a router. So this kind of devices. Can get the, so you can check here. So we'll get the connectivity likewise. I haven't assigned any IP address and all, even though we got the just turn on automatically by default. These devices having turn it on Wi-Fi. So that is the reason the connectivity is established in between the devices. So in depth we'll discuss once we'll start our Wi-Fi wireless LAN. That time we'll discuss. So do you have any questions in device part? If you don't have any questions, we'll move to I'll show you the basic configuration of switches and routers and modes of router and mode of switches. Guys, if you have any questions, ask me. Otherwise, we'll move.
No, Ali.
Fine. Great. So I'll take here one switch and I'll give a connectivity to these devices. So how can we assign the IP addresses to end users? I'll show you. So just click on this device, only one click, then one window will be open. Then go to the dashboard and IP configurations. Here you can select IP configuration. Just I'll explain again. So just click on this device, go to IP configuration and select select here IP configuration. Then you'll get the statical IP address and true DSCP. We haven't configuration, we haven't did any configuration of DSCP. So it will be get some API IP address. It is not a valid IP address. So likewise you'll get. So basically it's not a valid IP address, API means. So I'll give the here one IP address statically. So 10.1 I have given and it will be take the automatic subnet mask. So if you want to give the default gateway, yes, entire each and everything will discuss what is default gateway, IP address, subnet, entire thing will discuss what is DNS, entire thing will discuss. Just I'm showing here overview. So just done. The IP address configuration part is done. Now move to give the IP address for this PC. Just click on this PC and try to give the IP address of this PC. So different IP address we have to give. We should have to give the different IP address for this PC. If you want to give the default gateway, yes, you can give it from here. So just close on this. So I have given if you want to verify the IP address, whichever you have given the IP address, verify it, just move command prompt. So in real time, we have a CMD here. We'll type like CMD. But here the concept is different in running. So here you can type it CMD. You will get the command prompt. Likewise, we'll give here, this is a command prompt for our virtual PC. So IP config. Just give this command. You can verify whichever IP address you have given earlier. So these are the IP address we have provided this PC, and this is the gateway we provided, and try to minimize it and verify on this. Just move to command prompt and check the IP address. IP config. Just give this command. Just verified IP command. So try to ping the earlier whichever we have given the IP address. Ping, PING, packet internet gopher. Ping stands for packet internet gopher. So this command will verify the reachability is available or not. This reachability is available or not. We can verify this packet internet gopher. So just ping 192.168.10.10. Just try to ping it. So one packet will be dropped. Apart from that, we'll get the ping request. Likewise, we will provide the IP addresses. Just verify it. We have provided the same IP address or not. Meanwhile, just remove the default gateway. in the default gateway also it is there, no issue. So here you can check it. We have provided that 10.1 IP address, but we are trying to ping which IP address? 10.10. So that is the issue also. Can remove it, the default gateway, if or leave it also no issue. It is the entry and exit point 192.168.10.1. It is the entry and exit point of different network. Default gateway it means. Try to ping it same thing. Earlier, I have given the different IP address. Try to ping different IP address. So here you can verify it. So from we are getting the reply on this PC 10.10. So it's bytes and TTL value we are getting. So we'll discuss TTL also. What is the TTL? Time to leave. We'll discuss in later on. But likewise, we have to give the IP addresses on these PCs. Now move to switch. So how to configure it, how to troubleshoot it. Just I'll show you some brief overview. Show IP interface brief. Through this command, we'll check our physical interfaces, how many we have. So here we connected two interfaces, fast Ethernet 0 by 1 and fast Ethernet 0 by 2. So those port only up, remaining ports are down. You can verify it from here. So those ports are remaining down. We haven't configured anything on switch. It's basically, it's a layer 2 device. It will be work based on the MAC addresses, not based on the IP addresses. So I hope everyone got it done. So no need to give any assign the IP addresses, and even though it won't take also IP address. If you are trying to provide the IP addresses also, I'll show you. But in switch, we have a different modes. We have a different modes in switch. So we'll discuss what are the modes. So it's kind of privilege mode. Before that, we have the, it's a user mode. It's once you exit from here, you will move to the, it's kind of user mode. Here we cannot configure anything in this user mode. Just we can show commands. Some those also some commands only work. Show R, show CDP, show clock. This kind of commands only will work in this show clock. So some basic commands only will work. So in this, we don't have any privileges to configure it. Only some basic commands only will work. So enable, so CDP, neighbor. So it means it is a neighbor stability. We can check it. Here, no neighbor, it is connected. So now try to connect one more neighbor. So we'll discuss now CDP also. We'll finish the, so CDP, it's a command in real time also. Through this CDP command, will check the neighbor status. So whichever the neighbor, I haven't configured anything here. Earlier, we don't have any devices to connected. So these are the host. As I mentioned, these are the physical devices, physical layer devices. So it's a user, end user, whichever the end users are using those devices. So here it's a not a networking devices. So networking devices only, but we end users are using not a layer 2 or layer 3 devices. So once the port is come up, you can check it the same thing. So now you can check it. Switch is connected. One is neighbor, it is there. So the port is fast Ethernet 0 by 3. So CDP, Cisco Discover Protocol, Cisco Discovery Protocol, we can verify it. Who is my neighbors? If you can add multiple switches also, no need to configure anything. Just physically connectivity is done. So you can verify the neighbors. So where we are find outing this? At user mode only. So in this user mode only. Once you'll move in this user mode, we have this many troubleshooting commands only. Now move to the user to, it's a privilege mode. Actually, it's a privilege mode. Here also just show commands will be work, not more than that. Here also show commands only work, but Compared to earlier, here we have the more show commands will work here. So here we can access list, we can verify it, R table, entire thing, and flash memory, host, interfaces, IP addresses, entire thing will verify it. Monitor, SNMP, span, you can verify it, entire thing. So compared to this mode having the some more privileges, some more commands will work here. This is a privilege mode. So now you can check here also show CDP neighbor. So it's a CDP is a Cisco Discovery Protocol, and we have open standard that is LLDP, Link Layer Distribution Protocol. So it's a CDP protocol, and just you can verify it. This many neighbors I do have. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 neighbors. You can verify here also. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So likewise, it's a user mode, and here you can trouble trace route also. Sorry, ping command also work here. Ping something 192.168.10.10. Likewise, you can verify the ping command, ping reachability, entire thing. So these commands will work, and trace route also. Trace route means you can check the reachability, hope to hope. Trace route also. This kind of commands will work. This is the trace route, and it's a basically where we are doing. It's a privilege mode. And it will be take 32 bytes, 32 up to 32. It will be take the lines. It will be take. Control Z is not working, and I'll open this switch. So next switch. Now move to privilege. To if you want to move, just use here enable command. If you want to exit from here, just use enable command. Once you enable it, you move to the privilege mode, privilege to global configuration mode, configure terminal, configure terminal. Use this command. Then, if you whichever the configuration changes required, so here we have to give it. Here we have to configuration changes. Here we can verify. So before that, show VLAN. Anything is there? VLAN brief. So by default, VLANs only we have. So I will create some VLANs here, global configuration mode. I'll show you. So VLAN 10 and name AC. Don't worry about it. I'll explain each and everything. Just I am showing the configuration how we have to give. So IP show VLAN brief. With this command, we'll verify it. Just now I have created two VLANs. Earlier we don't have. So likewise, we can change the configurations. So earlier we have this many VLANs only, 1, 2. This is a by default VLANs. Just I have created two VLANs, and I have given the name for one VLAN. I haven't given any name for this VLAN. That is the reason it is taken by default name. So likewise, we can change the configuration. This is all about the Cisco packet tracer. This is the lab, and this is a Cisco packet tracer in our codes we are using. So do you have any questions on Cisco packet tracer and how to download it, and what is our course content, whichever now coming days we are discussing. Do you have any questions? Ask me. If you want to add on something, I am ready to add on here also. If you want something add
Uh,
on, yes, go ahead.
Hi, actually, how to complete these labs? Like, do you have any instructions pages, or just after completing the class, we need to directly go through the labs?
So yes, once we'll finish the VLAN topic. So now next topic is VLAN. I'll explain the what is VLAN, what is the benefit, and what is the disadvantages, how we'll configure it. Entire thing. Once we'll finish the theoretical, then we'll move to the lab practical here in this lab. And I'll give you the topologies, and previous batch also you can verify it. The likewise in previous batch we did so many labs. You can verify it. So these are the all are the tasks. So I'll open one task here. So, so we'll take one routing task. Entire thing will be available in this task. So it's kind of big labs. So verified. This is a big lab. This is a branch one and this is a branch two. So here you can check. So running configuration like this. So likewise, we did the labs earlier batches. So we created VLANs. Likewise, we'll discuss. Do you have any other way to explain? Then just give me the suggestions. Before that, I'll stop the recordings. We'll discuss.